coming from Easton Baseball's account. For the ones that don't know, you should know. But if you don't know, now you will know. My name is CJ Beatty. I go by the Baseball and Softball Motivator, okay? You know what I'm saying? TBM. We gets it in. My whole life is centered around helping young baseball players get as far as they can freaking go in the game of baseball. I want to let you know all the ins and outs, what scouts are looking for, the things that can help you take your game and life to the next level. So, you in the right freaking place. You in the right place if you're listening to me right now. On these lives, I usually come out here with two or more topics that's going to help you take your game to the next level. Okay, so today's topic, I want to talk about playing multiple positions and why it's important and what you can do during this lockdown that you're in to help position you to be the best baseball player that you can be. Also, we have a great Q&A that goes on here. So I hope you have your questions. I know I've seen some people that are on here right now from the last live that we had, and it was awesome. It was phenomenal. We have some great questions going on. So if a question comes up in this live right here, right now, if a question comes up in this live, I want you to write it down quickly. I don't want you to forget. I want you to be able to type it up, press the question mark down there at the bottom of the screen, submit it in there so I can pull from it and put it on here whenever we go do our Q&A at the end of this segment. Okay, so make sure you're ready for it. Let's go ahead and get straight to it. I hope you get something to write with and something to write on. Take some notes because I don't want you to miss this information. Do not chance information to memory. All right. You don't want to chance information to memory. So I'll give you about 10 seconds to go grab something to write with and something to write on. And we're going to get this thing started. OK, 10 seconds. All right, you still lose. You should have been ready. Here we go. All right, so check this thing out. Shout out to Easton Baseball again. Look at that hat. Y'all got to get this hat. Like, look at that. That thing is nice. But anyway, playing multiple positions. I wanted to get on here and just really chop it up with you about that. Playing multiple position really increases your value as a player. You always want to increase your value as a player, for real. Like your value. You know how money has value, right? Like these Ray-Bans that I have, they have value, all right? The cologne that you saw me spraying right here, this Vintage Black by Kenneth Cole, it has value. Okay. You as a player have value. And when you're one dimensional as a player, you're really selling yourself short. All right. If you're a person that just say, I just grew up playing first base all the time. Look, I don't want you to feel like that's just your only ticket to the big leagues. You want to increase your value as a young player, as a young prospect. Why? Because when it comes down to tiebreakers, it does. Every player goes through a tiebreaker at some point where you're on a team and it might come down to you and this other kid for a starting spot. It's going to come down to who do we keep? Do we go with this kid or do we have to let this kid go? When it gets to high school, it comes down to who has more value, who shows more value to the team. Or should we cut this player? Should we keep this player? That's why it's important for you to play multiple positions or learn how to play multiple positions. I really want you during this break to understand how to go about playing multiple positions. Okay. If you are a shortstop, that means typically you're an athletic person. Second base, typically the middle of the field, athletic people. All right. Second base and shortstop, you're more athletic. You can transfer to the outfield and play center field. You can play outfield because you have that agility to be able to move. Like we talked about that before, but we really want you to be able to learn other positions. Don't just grow up saying that I'm only a shortstop. Because what happens when you get on the showcase team or big time team and they already have a shortstop? What are you going to say? Well, I can't play a team because I only play shortstop. No, you need to be able to play other positions. Here's another thing that I want you to know. We might have some parents on here, and we're going to talk about this on the podcast that's going to be dropping tomorrow. So if any parents on here want to follow my podcast, it's the Loop Zone Podcast on Spotify, and I'll put that down there so people can follow. At CJ Beatty 44 is who to follow on here if you're trying to figure out who's talking your ear off right now. It's your boy Beatty, man. This right here will pin it. CJ Beatty 44. But I just want you to know how important playing multiple positions are. Okay? So, again, playing multiple positions will increase your value. But I want you to understand this. I'm tired of people. I'm tired of people saying that they play multiple positions, but they really don't play multiple positions. They only hold it down in a pinch. All right? You don't play multiple positions if you can't make the routine play look easy. All right? Your main position, you make it look easy, right? You make it look easy, right? That's what your secondary position needs to happen for it. You got to make the routine plays look easy at that secondary position. That third position, that fourth position. You can't say you play a position if you can't make the routine play look easy. There we go. Stop telling people you can play multiple positions if you can't make the routine play look easy. If it looks like you're struggling, if you can't bend over, if you can't make the throw, if you're still learning, you don't tell people you play it. Tell people you play it in a pinch. Like, for real, if you don't have anybody else to play it, I'll go over there and I'll stop the ball and I'll do my best. But don't run up to a coach and pull him on his sleeve or poke him on the back, on the shoulder and say, hey, coach, I can play short, when you know you can't play short. Just because you can feel the ground ball don't mean you play shortstop. Just because you can catch a fly ball don't mean you play outfield. You got to know where to throw, right? Like I don't want little Timmy to come to me and tell me he plays center field, but then when a fly ball's up there, he catches it, but he don't know where he's throwing the ball. He don't know that if he's catching a deep fly ball and a runner's on, actually he doesn't know if he fields a ground ball, a hard ground ball in the gap, and a runner's on first, that he's going to three with it. He don't know it because he don't play the position. He thought outfield was just catching the ball. This ain't Little League no more, homie. Right? This ain't Little League no more. Little Timmy. I always use Timmy. See my boy Ty. I always use little Timmy. All right? So, if you say you play multiple positions, you can only tell a coach you play multiple positions. I hope you wrote this down. Only tell coach, parents pay attention. Only tell coach that you play multiple positions when all the positions that you play, you can make the routine play look easy. If you can't do that, it's called, I can play it in a pinch. When nobody else is there and you need somebody so we can continue to play and not forfeit, I can play that position. I hope that makes sense. I hope Jack, you put a question right here in the comments. Do me a favor and put that question down there in the question box. Okay, everybody that has a question for me, I'm going to answer a bunch of questions starting here in a few minutes. So if you have questions for me to answer or to go in detail on, type the question mark down there and put it in there. Shout out to my man Guzman in the building right here. Guzman, that's my boy, TBM fam, all day, every day. What up? What up? Put the questions down there so we can bring the questions to the light. We're going to have a big Q&A at the end like I always do every Monday. Shout out to Eastern Baseball for having me do this. If you're tuning in right now, we're talking about playing multiple positions and how it increases your value. You always want to increase your value as a player. Every single day you practice, you're practicing to increase your value for your team and for yourself. For your team and for yourself. Playing multiple positions helps you with the recruiting process. It's simple. When it comes down to who should we give the scholarship to, the word value comes up so much. How valuable will he be at my university? I'm a college scout. How valuable will this player be at our university? All right? Good. Glad we talked about that. All right, so I'm going to get ready to bring up some questions right here. That's what I wanted to talk about to kick the things off. If that put a question in your mind, type it in, submit it, and we're going to start this Q&A process right now. All right, here we go. My boy Blake, so drippy. Shout out to my homie Blake. When did you start playing baseball? I started playing baseball at 5. Realistically, if you want to be technical, I started playing baseball at the age of 3 when my dad brought a plastic bat and a plastic ball and a plastic tee to the house. And I started smashing them in my neighbor's yards. That's when I really started. You know what I'm saying? Great question. But honestly, like for real, I started playing Little League Baseball at age 5. I started playing T-ball then. Good question. What up, Blake? Welcome to the TBN family. Make sure you join my TBN family. Follow me, CJ Beatty 44. All right, let's see what my boy Jack got. Jack Pence, is that Penske? 11. What's good? He say, what if a pitcher gets mad at you for not catching a ball? Let me tell you something. First of all, if your pitcher gets mad at you for not catching the ball, if he gets really upset to the point where he doesn't want to talk to you, he treats you like a bad teammate, then first of all, that's not a good teammate. And I don't like pitchers that sees their players going at it 100%, right? Giving it everything that they got, and they end up making an error. Errors happen. Mistakes happen, right? If a pitcher gets upset for you dropping the ball and you're going at it your best, and he's being a bad teammate and just, hey, man, I got you. Just pick me up. Get the next one. If a pitcher ain't saying get the next one for me or saying something uplifting, I got a problem. As a coach, I got a problem. I'm going to call time and walk up there on the mound and be like, hey, man, don't show up your players. Don't show up your teammates. All right? Like, this ain't what it's all about. When they make an error behind you on the pitcher's mound, they know they made an error. They know they made an error. They don't need your help. They don't need the extra criticism from you. As the pitcher, you're a captain on that field right now. All the attention on you. The best thing that you can do is keep your composure. You know what's uplifting? Is when I made an error behind my pitcher, my pitcher say, hey, man, don't worry about it. I'm going to give you another one. Don't worry about it. Turn this next one for me. Don't worry about it. Turn this double play. That's right. That right there is a leader. Take notes, pitchers, if you're on here right now. That's a leader. That's a leader right there. Somebody drop a ball in the outfield, and that outfielder and the pitcher turn around and be like, hey, my man, hey, catch the next one. Don't worry about it. Turn the page. Pump them up. Now, let me flip it real quick, though. Let me flip this. For the pitchers that are upset because the players on the team that made the error are jacking around. So then they're not ready. So you're grinding your butt off on the mound, right? And you finally get a ground ball to that guy that's jacking around. He makes a mistake and he, halfway throws it over there and sails it out. And then he's kind of laughing. Now that's when it's time. Hey, that's when I get upset. Hey, at that point right there, that's when I have a problem. Like if you ain't out here trying to leave it all out there on the field, you walk between these lines and you ain't out there trying to give it your best, then listen, either I need to get off of that team or that coach, you need to go to your coach and be like, hey man, that's not fair. You need to address this thing. If you're a parent, you need to, hey, we got to have a talk. Right? And if they jacking around and not playing around like there, and you trying to battle your butt off on the mound, and they jacking around, when you get in the dugout, you need to tell them, like, listen, bro, come on, man. We're a team. We're trying to win. We're trying to win right here, man. Focus up. Let's do this. We want to win. Now, if after you done said that, and you're on a travel ball team and they still jacking around, you need to have when you get home for dinner, you need to sit your mom and dad down. Like, for real. You need to sit your mom and dad down and say, like, listen, Pops, listen, Ma, it's time for me to find another team. Mentally, I'm just above where I'm playing right now. I want to be pushed. All right? I want to be pushed. I want to play on a team of warriors and champions and people that care about their results. That right there is important. That was a great question. Jack, homie Jack, I like that question right there. You helped out a lot of people right there, bro. What up, my boy Insomnia Aggie? What's good? Insomnia Aggie. What position do you play? Well, it's dead because I retired back in 2015. I got drafted as a center fielder to the St. Louis Cardinals when I played. I got drafted as an outfielder, played center field. But then when I got to the outfield, when I got the pro ball, they switched me to right field because I was a little bit slower than the average pro center fielder, right? But I had a hose. I had a cannon. I had a pow. I had that cannon from the outfield. I dared anybody to run. I used to sometimes catch the ball and kind of bait them and then be like, "Cow!" Let them know what the deal was. Hey, don't run on this. Hey, this used to be illegal in the